Yo, good morning. What's going on, my Uppercut TV gang? What's going on, family? Yo, quick brief upload, man. A reminder, this Saturday is UFC 276. As y'all already are aware of, man, this card is fully stacked. One quick adjustment and brief news on the card. Unfortunately, Miesha Tate and the hard fight is not going to be going on, man. Going hard, unfortunately, caught COVID, so that card, that fight in the card has been scratched, unless the UFC is able to pull out a late-minute replacement who's gonna be basically fighting Miesha Tate at a few days' notice. Is it likely? Yes, due to the fact that Miesha Tate is a big name, and any fighter would love to basically get in the octagon with her and try to snatch a win off of her to put that name on their resume. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, you already know what's on the card, man. The main event, you got Cannonier versus Iggy Adesanya, the last stylebender. You also got the co-main, which is the trilogy between Max Holloway and Volkanovski. And you also got a bunch of other great fights on the card, you know what I'm saying? But the purpose of this upload is basically to put you on to the fighter y'all need to be on the lookout for. A fighter that most of y'all may not know. A fighter that's basically known for basically being the only person to knock out Izzy Adesanya in a kickboxing tournament, knocking him out cold to the point that Adesanya fell on the canvas very, very hard and stood there for a couple of minutes, to the point that the medics had to come in and register some oxygen. They had to put an oxygen mask on this man to try to make him gain back consciousness and get back to being conscious. You know what I mean? And that is basically the man that y'all know from Brazil as Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira is a fucking big beast. He's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu specialist and also formerly known as the #1 kickboxer in the world. This man is strong, great striking, great grappling, and of course, without a doubt, great jiu-jitsu. Now, why is he the fighter to look at? He is somebody who's going to be well known if he continues to progress in the level and the rate he's been progressing. This man is basically fighting his third UFC fight on UFC 276. Not only is he fighting in the main card, he is the fight right before the co-main event. Think about it. You have to be a hell of a fighter to be actually fighting in the main card and being the fight right before the main and the co-main event. Now, he is currently 3-0, in the UFC. This is going to be his fourth fight. He is fighting the tough, durable, and what many people consider just a straight maniac and fucking animal in the ring. In Strickland. He's fighting Rod Strickland, bro. That shit's gonna be a hell of a match, man. Two middleweights that got nothing but pure game and ferociousness behind their attacks and defense. So with that being said, that's the fighter to be on the lookout for, man. A new fighter that is definitely worth watching. Again, that's Alex Pereira from Brazil, who's gonna be fighting Strickland. That fight's gonna be incredible. Strickland if I'm not mistaken, Strickland has a record of 21-4, 21-5, something like that, while Alex Pereira holds a record of 4-1, if I'm not mistaken. Pereira, there's a lot of hype behind him, and the UFC is basically positioning him on a path and road to eventually have that rematch and be that and make a huge main event between him and Iggy Adesanya. So again, although he's only 4-1, and this is only his third fight in the UFC, if he beats Rod Strickland, who is ranked, Alex Pereira will move up in the ranks, where logistically speaking, it will take him 1 or 2 fights, in which obviously he will have to win to be able to get a title shot against Iggy Adesanya, Israel Adesanya. At the end of the day, Israel Adesanya, if you think about it, he's basically fought almost everyone in the division and wiped them out clean. You know what I mean? From Forrest Whitaker to Gastelum to Vittori, he fought him twice, to Castro Paulo. he's fought the best of the best. So there aren't that many middleweights that are left in the fight, except for Strickland, which would be a good matchup. But as far as actually pay-per-view sales and interest, a rematch between him and Alex Pereira is inevitable, and that will be a huge money and income and revenue generator. But again, the fighter to be on the lookout in UFC 267, the fighter that I urge you to be acquainted with and familiar with, is Alex Pereira from Brazil. This dude is a beast. Again, he's only been in the UFC for 3 fights. This is his 4th, and he's already in the main card right before the co-main. To put things into perspective as far as how big of a deal this is, that he's on the main card fighting right before the co-main, we have the bantamweight champion and legend Dominick Cruz, who's held that title for years, beating Uriah Faber and a bunch of other bantamweight legends, before he ultimately ended up losing his belt and his strap to Cody Garbrandt. But as he came back from injury, Dominick Cruz, a legend, the best to ever do it at bantamweight, has been fighting in the prelims and the early prelims in his last bouts, except for that main event he had against Henry Cejudo on fight night. But with that being said, Dominick Cruz has had to work his way up to make it to the main card. Now he's going to be the headlining fight for the UFC Fight Night in August, when he goes against my boy from Ecuador, Marlon Chito Vera. But anyways, I say that to say this. You have people like Dominick Cruz, who are well established and have basically established themselves as one of the best to ever do it, and the GOAT in the bantamweight division, fighting in the prelims. Another legend in the MMA community, and Robbie Lawler. Last fight night, well, his last fight was against Nick Diaz on Nick Diaz's return, which he won. So he came off a win, and is another legend in the fight game. You know what I'm saying? Ultimate Fighter, won the Ultimate Fighter Contender Series, and all of that, and he even ended up being the second or third fight in the prelims on last week's fight night. So you have these legends and these big names fighting in the prelims after a win, which is crazy to think about. Where now you have this guy, Alex Pereira, in his 4th fight in the UFC with a record of 4-1, fighting in the main card right before the trilogy between Max Holloway and Volkanovski. So that speaks volumes as far as this kid's potential and his ceiling. His ceiling is very high. So again, man, it's your boy Uppercut TV, aka Laz of the MC, bringing you a brief update as far as the fighter to watch, fighter to be on the lookout for. My predictions for that fight, Strickland, is tough as fuck, man. My heart tells me to go for Strickland, but my brain tells me that Alex Pereira is gonna fucking take the W. I don't remember what the odds are, but that's gonna be a good matchup. But again, this UFC 276 card is gonna be fully stacked, so make sure y'all stay tuned and y'all pull up and watch that fight, man. Y'all already know I'm probably gonna be doing a few uploads with my predictions, and I might do a live commentary recap of the fight as it goes on Saturday. But anyways, that's my time for this morning. So as y'all know, man, like Laz always say, man, sleep good, eat good, and fuck good. We out.